In this video, I'll discuss what a virtual data source is and break down how to construct a virtual query. I'll also show an example of how to use an update query to permanently modify records in a database directly from a data grid. Start by dragging a data grid onto the canvas and creating a new data source called update. Check the update query option in the top right-hand corner and the update function will appear. A test table example is provided within this function, but for this example, I will create my own. Here we will create a table containing customer details. The query to create the table only needs to be run once, and after that we can just reference the table name. Make sure the force reset option is ticked, and if you are using a keyed table, then the query must use the same value. Edit mode must be enabled, and tick the enable insert and delete option. Now we can make permanent changes to the data source straight from the data grid. Virtual queries are built using JavaScript and allow you to manipulate and combine data from different data sources or parameters without making additional database calls. When creating a virtual query, the function accepts three main inputs: a data source, a view state, or a text insert. The result object contains three properties: columns, which defines the structure of the data; meta, which specifies the data type for each column; and rows, which hold the actual data values, either mapped from existing data or dynamically assigned. Now let's look at an example. Here I'm passing a view state called sim into the query and breaking it into two columns, symbol 1 and symbol 2. The meta for both columns is set to 11, which represents the numeric type for symbols. In the rows, I assign values to each column by extracting different parts of the view state. Symbol 1 takes the first three characters of the view state, and symbol 2 takes the next three characters. Once we hit execute, the view state is now split into two separate columns. A more advanced example comes from the Virtual Data Sources demo, where Bollinger Bands are generated using historical trading data. In this case, both a data source and a view state are passed into the function. Three columns are then created representing the high, low, and mean prices for the selected symbol. The meta for each column is set to 9, which represents the numeric data type for floating point values. To calculate the Bollinger Bands, variables for the mean and standard deviation are defined. These are then used to compute the values for each band, which are then assigned using the rows property. The result is a dynamic graph that updates in real time based on the selected symbol, providing a clear visualization of price trends and volatility.